Lord Louis Mountbatten and his wife Edwina were once celebrated as England's ultimate power couple, glamorous, well-connected, and seemingly invincible. But as history would later reveal, the image painted by the public masked a more complex truth. Their FBI files exposed secrets that extended far beyond the tabloid affairs people whispered about. Their lives were not just stories of privilege and power. They were stories of ambition, failure, resilience, and a relentless quest to leave a mark on the world. The Battenbergs were no ordinary family. They were a dynasty woven into the very fabric of British royalty. Born in 1900, young Louis entered a world where luxury was his cradle and influence his inheritance. His baptism alone was a spectacle of Europe's highest nobility. His godmother was none other than Queen Victoria herself, and his godfather was Czar Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia before the revolution brought an empire crashing down. As a boy, Louis spent countless summers in Russia, roaming palace corridors, laughing with the imperial children, and unknowingly witnessing the final golden glow of a dying era. He grew especially close to his cousin, Grand Duchess Maria. Her photograph remained beside his bed until the day he died, his silent reminder of innocence, youth, and a world forever lost. His childhood was sheltered, shaped within the walls of privilege. After years of homeschooling, he was sent to Locker's Park boarding school and later to the Royal Naval College, just before turning 13. But the world outside was changing. War, nationalism, and shifting allegiances began tearing Europe apart. Even his surname, Battenberg, suddenly became a threat. Fearing anti-German sentiment, King George V renamed the royal family from Saxe-Coburg-Gotha to Windsor. The Battenbergs followed suit, transforming themselves into Mountbattens, a new name for a new era. At just 16, Louis joined the Royal Navy as a midshipman aboard the HMS Lion. Many boys fear the sea. Louis rushed into it. In 1916, he saw combat for the first time. The thunder of guns, the crack of steel, the chaos of naval warfare. These experiences forged him, but they also reveal a truth he would carry for life. Courage alone is never enough. Skill, wisdom, and humility matter just as much. After the war, he sailed across the world with the Prince of Wales, visiting Australia, Japan, and India. The prince would later become King Edward VIII, and Mountbatten became one of the few men he trusted completely. His influence stretched across generations. The young Prince Charles saw him as an honorary grandfather. Mountbatten would often tell him, "Make your own path, not the one others expect of you." It was advice born from personal experience. In 1922, Louis married Edwina Ashley, a wealthy heiress known for her beauty, intelligence, and rebellious nature. Their honeymoon took them across continents, even landing them on the set of an unreleased Charlie Chaplin short film. But beneath this glamorous beginning, cracks quickly formed. Their marriage was complicated. Two powerful personalities living parallel lives. Mountbatten later admitted that both spent much of their marriage in other people's beds. Yet, strangely, they remained deeply loyal to one another in ways only they understood. During the early 1920s, he commanded a poorly trained platoon assigned to suppress industrial unrest in Britain. The mission was chaotic, mirroring his own inexperience as a leader. But Mountbatten had something that kept him rising, relentless ambition, and an unshakable belief that failure was only temporary. Drawn to the world of communication and technology, he studied at Portsmouth and Greenwich, mastering the science that would shape modern naval warfare. These skills carried him into World War II as commander of the HMS Kelly. The Kelly became famous, not for glory but for misfortune. Mountbatten made mistakes, sometimes catastrophic ones. He accidentally sailed into a minefield. He rammed another British ship. The crew jokingly called him the master of disaster. Yet, even in disaster, he refused to give up. The Kelly sank during the Battle of Crete, taken down by German dive bombers. Mountbatten barely escaped with his life. In 1941, he toured Pearl Harbor and expressed alarm at its lack of preparation, an observation that would prove tragically accurate just months later. Even his critics couldn't deny that his instincts were sharp, even if his execution often wasn't. Then came the Dieppe raid of 1942, a catastrophic attack with nearly 60% casualties. Mountbatten played a key role in planning it. Many thought this failure would end his career, but astonishingly, he kept being promoted. By August 1943, Winston Churchill appointed him Supreme Allied Commander in Southeast Asia. He proposed daring, often unrealistic strategies, many of which seasoned officers quickly shut down. Even at the Potsdam Conference in 1945, he embarrassed himself by trying to impress Joseph Stalin with tales of the Russian royal family, a family Stalin had helped eliminate. Yet history is strange. It often crowns men with honors long before it judges their actions. Despite his missteps, Mountbatten received some of Britain's highest accolades after the war. He became a viscount, then an earl. But many believe these titles were ceremonial shields, polite ways to nudge him out of positions where he could cause more trouble. On February 20th, 1947, he was appointed Viceroy of India. Officially, he was chosen for his experience in the region. Unofficially, many suspected the government wanted him far from British politics. Still, Mountbatten accepted the role with determination, believing he could help guide India through one of the most important transitions in history. And this is where Mountbatten's story becomes truly inspirational. Despite a life filled with privilege, missteps, and controversy, he never stopped pushing forward. He stumbled, failed, tried again, and constantly reinvented himself. His journey reminds us that greatness is not perfection. It's built through struggle, courage, and the refusal to give up. His legacy isn't defined only by titles, scandals, or distant wars. It is a reminder that even flawed individuals can shape history, that growth is always possible, and that every chapter offers a chance to rise higher than the one before it. Regardless of the motives behind his appointment, Lord Louis Mountbatten stepped into a moment that would test any leader, guiding the Indian subcontinent from British rule to independence. Britain gave him a conflicting mission: avoid partition if possible, preserve unity, and still protect Britain's global image. It was a tightrope walk across a land on the edge. When Mountbatten arrived in India on March 22, 1947, he stepped into chaos. Riots erupted across Delhi, Bombay, and Rawalpindi. Fires burned, communities clashed, and fear spread faster than hope. Realizing time was slipping away, he made a decision that would alter the future of over 400 million people. He pushed for an immediate transfer of power. His advisors urged caution, but Mountbatten believed delay would only fuel the violence. That choice reshaped Asia for generations. History rarely turns on a single decision, but in 1947, one man helped shape the destiny of millions. Caught between the demands of Hindu and Muslim leaders, Mountbatten tried, sometimes sincerely, sometimes strategically, to broker peace. Meetings dragged late into the night, proposals stacked higher, and tensions hardened. In the end, he decided partition was inevitable. Despite resistance from those who dreamed of a united India, he pushed forward. On August 15, 1947, India and Pakistan were born. New borders emerged, flags rose, and the subcontinent entered a new era shaped heavily by his hand. Mahatma Gandhi, one of his fiercest critics, fought relentlessly for unity. He urged Mountbatten to offer Muhammad Ali Jinnah a leading role in a united government, a move that might have changed everything. Mountbatten never shared it. Years later, he admitted that on the night of partition, he felt the most powerful man on earth. His words revealed a mix of responsibility, ego, and ambition behind his choices. Partition unleashed one of the largest migrations in history. Millions fled across new borders with only what they could carry. The rushed separation fueled chaos, massacres, and immense suffering. Yet even as the region burned, Mountbatten's influence expanded. At Nehru's request, he became independent India's first governor-general, helping unite hundreds of princely states, winning admiration in India and deep distrust in Pakistan. Back in Britain, he continued climbing the ranks of the Royal Navy, eventually becoming First Sea Lord, the same position once held by his father. But behind the titles, his personal life was troubled. After Edwina's death in 1960, he drifted into affairs with women far younger than him, including a long relationship with actress Shirley MacLaine. Years later, declassified FBI files describe him and his wife as having extremely low morals, reigniting old accusations. By the 1970s, Mountbatten retired to Northwest Ireland, spending quiet mornings fishing along the coast, unaware that danger was closing in. The region's proximity to the Northern Ireland border made him a high-value target during the IRA conflict. On August 26, 1979, IRA member Thomas McMahon planted a bomb on his small fishing boat. The next morning, as Mountbatten left shore with his family, the device exploded. Mountbatten, his 14-year-old grandson, and a 15-year-old local boy were killed instantly. Lady Doreen Brabourne died the next day. A life defined by power, ambition, controversy, and tragedy ended in violence. Yet its impact still reverberates through history.